Various Home Services has your shot at 4 tickets to see Green Bay take on the Purple in early January, plus $500 in game day cash. Register for your chance to win today on the KFAN contest page. That's KFAN.com/furnace to enter today.
It's a couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. He is 10 to B. Deuce and Rosen at 1:30 for another edition of Spread Swing. Then Rosie will stick around for another hour. We'll talk a little dis, dat, lap. But right now it's time for 5-3-4 here on the Fan.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
It's now time to delve deep into Twins territory.
Crack out a home run, shout a hip hooray! Cheer for the Minnesota Twins today.
I don't know if we want to keep cheering for the Minnesota Twins because according to Dan Hayes of The Athletic, center fielder Byron Buxton could consider waiving his no-trade clause for certain teams if Minnesota continues breaking up their roster. Common, your thoughts?
Well, you know, when Byron signed what most people considered a hometown discount deal, right? Was it $100 million over, I think, like 10 years? It was admirable. Hey, you know, this is where I started my career. I'd like to end my career here, blah, blah, blah. And when you're playing for a team that, you know, they had moments with Buxton, right? And you're thinking, hey, you know, we can win here. Well, all of a sudden, that after a while, when you see the team hasn't been winning, and then when you see what they did, they were talking about selling the team, and then they cut the payroll, and then they traded 11 players. So now that fairy tale, start your career and end your career with the same team and maybe win a world championship isn't looking so realistic anymore. And then you see other players, your peers and your contemporaries qualifying for postseason play, advancing through postseason play and winning World Series. You're thinking maybe staying with the Twins for my entire career isn't such a good idea. So I, quite frankly, don't blame them. I mean, again, most of these guys play to win, right? At least you want to win, so I don't blame them. And yeah, it would be just another reason to not pay very close attention to the Twins because right now, and we've talked about this for the past several weeks, ever since the season ended, they have a handful of players that are quality players. Buxton is good. We think Royce Lewis has a chance to be really, really good. You have a couple of good pitchers on the club. You got Joe Ryan and Lopez, and a handful of other players that are all right. But if you continue to part ways with your better players, if Buxton goes, and my guess there's a good chance Joe Ryan goes and Lopez. Well, why would you even want to follow the team? You're better off following the St. Paul Saints. And if you're one of the better players and you've got some money, been playing a long time, you want to play in the postseason, why would you want to stay here? So, yeah.
Well, I found it interesting because after the trade deadline last year, Buxton made some, I'm loyal here, I'm going to stay here. And that has changed in a, 4-month stretch? Yeah. 4 months time? 3-4 months? Which to me signifies he knows there's more cuts coming. And it's probably the names you just mentioned, right? Joe Ryan and or Pablo Lopez. And it does come to the point if you're Buxton, why am I staying here? Right. If that's going to happen. We're not he's got a couple of years left in his prime, and those years are going to be, you're going to be one of the worst teams in all of baseball during that stretch. So I don't blame him. I will say, if Buxton is gone, and let's say Joe Ryan and or Pablo Lopez are sent away as well, who's showing up to the games this year? They are going to get nothing for attendance.
The people that will show up will be there are several different, I've talked about this before, there are different types of fans, and the fans that will show up will be the ones where it's mom and dad and the 2 or 3 kids, and they're just going just to go to the ball game. They really don't care.
My kids like baseball, and they just want to go to a baseball game.
So just go to a baseball game, and they're not as concerned about the direction of the team and winning games. It's just, hey, let's go out to the ball game. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. So, but yeah, attendance will, I think, will plummet for sure.
Question number 2. It's time now for the lowdown in Dinkytown.
The Gophers men's basketball team led 33-32 early in the second half last night at Missouri, but ended up losing 83-60. Only 2 Gophers hit double figures, with Cade Tyson leading the way with 17 points. The Tigers shot 59.2% from the field and made 50% of their three-point tries. Common, what sticks out to you from the Gophers' loss at Mizzou last night?
I guess, I don't know. I mean, look, it was probably too much to ask that, you change the coach, he brings in some new players, and voila, here we go, we're ready to play. That was probably too much to ask, and it's only 3 games in. Do the J.J. McCarthy bit if you want. McCarthy's only played 4 games. Everybody calm down. We've only played 3 games now. This was our first real competition, though, I think, a real team, right? And that's not good. So there's going to be some growing pains, it looks like, Tennessee. It looks like there's some growing pains. Your thoughts? Do you have any more? Do you have anything?
I did not see the game. Have not. It's so hard now in college athletics, specifically in basketball, that the roster is completely different than it was a year ago with transfers. And so it's even hard to be completely attached to a team in early November. Cade Tyson, I know of the name. I know they transferred in, but I'd never seen him play basketball.
Correct.
So it's hard to be connected.
Question number 3. And now it's time to go in the trenches.
Actually, I probably should have done this open instead.
The year of the cat.
Common, Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs. He's only 23 years old. And after his 3-touchdown game on Sunday, he has 41 touchdowns in his NFL career. Hall of Famer Barry Sanders scored 47 touchdowns before his 24th birthday, which is the most in NFL history for a player under the age of 24. Gibbs won't turn 24 until March, so he has the rest of the season to score 7 touchdowns and eclipse Barry Sanders' record. Common, will Jahmyr Gibbs beat Barry Sanders' record, and will Gibbs one day be thought of in the same category as a Barry Sanders?
We're extrapolating quite a bit out. It's too early to determine if he'll be considered. Sanders, what made him so special was just the way he was able to defy gravity. I mean, you would see him do things that you just never saw any running back ever do. It was just bizarre. The way he could contort his body and the control he had over it. Gibbs is a hell of a running back. Hey, it's fun to watch him. His explosiveness and his ability, he's. And I think they've already said a couple of times, he has he's the second fastest. They said on that touchdown run, he ran 22.2 miles per hour, or something like that. So catch a ball out of the backfield. When we saw the one thing he's not very good at least the Vikings, certainly with their blitzing linebackers, he wasn't very good at picking up linebackers. As a matter of fact, they had to take him out of the game against Minnesota for chunks of the game. And I don't know. You would think he could get the 7 tutties. I mean, they like to get him the ball when they get near the end zone.
Well, I was just going to say, both Barry Sanders and Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, what's is amazing about this stat is I don't think either of them got the ball at the goal line a whole lot. Barry Sanders definitely did not. And throughout, I think they're now starting to give it to Gibbs more than they once did. But early in his career, it was mostly David Montgomery inside the 5. Jahmyr Gibbs is getting it through the 20. So the fact that the 2 record holders for most touchdowns before age 24 were not even necessarily goal line guys kind of blows my mind.
And again, to rank, Barry Sanders.
He's the greatest I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's, we've had this debate before. We've talked about it. I would say I still think Jim Brown might be the greatest running back of all time to be able to do all things, right? But as far as just a pure runner, it's hard to argue with Sanders. It really is.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
All Vikings, let's win this game. You'll hear us yell for more.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the state of the Skull.
All right, Common, prediction time. What will the Vikings' final record be this season?
What are we now, 4-5?
4-5.
Do you have the schedule in front of you?
Sure. Bears at home this week.
That's a W. We're 5-5.
At Green Bay.
5-6.
At Seattle.
5-7.
Home to Washington.
6-7.
At Dallas.
7-7.
At New York Giants.
8-7.
Home to Detroit.
9-7.
Home to Green Bay.
10-7.
We're coming.
10-7.
If they end up 10-7, I think you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, well, I think they
Probably will get you a playoff spot.
Probably qualify for the playoffs. I think that. Now again, there's a couple of those games that are dicey. They beat Detroit at the litter box. Now that doesn't guarantee that they'll beat them in at the bank, but
even the at Green Bay game, they said they lost. Like that's winnable.
Oh, it absolutely is winnable. Absolutely is winnable. So yeah, and so much of it, I guess, does depend on can quarterback whisperer, how much can he wring out of a young quarterback who's to this point, I know the hardcore Viking fans and the kids that love 9 are annoyed with me when I say he's had more struggles and he's had success. He just has. And so, but if he can continue to make progress, if he can stop overthrowing wide receivers, if he can help keep the team out of 3rd and longs, as Ben Lieber said, I think, the Vikings could win some football games. Defensively, they're going to have to really lean on that defense a lot. And they've got to find a way to get Addy and Jets involved because you saw the numbers last week, Tennessee. They were targeted a number of times, but how many passes did each of them catch?
Well, he didn't even complete 50% of his passes.
Yeah, so he Addy and Jets barely had any catches. So that's all got to change. But yeah, if he can continue to get better and make progress and pick up the pace of that progress, and the defense plays like it does, I think the Vikings.
I'd be pretty happy with 10-7.
I think they could win 10 games. I do.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Do you think that was ducky and bunny enough for everybody? Trying to ducky and bunny it up is what I'm trying to do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And by the way, Tennessee, I believe you have a keyword for us, right?
I do. The Fan and 2 men on a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword check at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is check. Enter now at KFAN.com. Bonus Box is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by 2 men in a junk truck.
I'm going to have a quiz for you here, Tennessee. You ready?
Yeah.
What do we call list radio?
Lazy radio.
And why do we like lazy radio here on the Fan?
Why do we like list radio?
Yeah.
Because we're lazy.
Correct. CBS Sports did a piece called Grading NFL QBs on Rookie Deals. You ready for this?
Sure.
Drake May gets an A+.
Yeah. That's an obvious one.
He's the co-betting favorite to win NFL MVP at FanDuel. He's taken the Pats from worst to first. What else is there to say? If you want to quibble, he's taking too many sacks, 35. That's second most in the NFL, but that's where the negatives end. Caleb Williams sent to me. What do you think his grade is?
B minus?
He gets a B.
Okay.
From year 1 to year 2, there have been glaring areas of improvement with Williams' development and glaring areas of stagnation as well. The sack-prone Williams we saw as a rookie is no more. He's on pace to take fewer than half the 68 sacks we saw from him as a rookie. That's allowed for a much more consistent flow of the Bears' offense this season. But when you've been sacked that many times and you get sacked, is 35 still a lot? Like, what's half of 68? That would be 34. Is 34 still a lot of sacks? See what I'm saying, Tennessee? I mean, yeah, if you cut it in half from 68, that's great. But getting sacked 68 times, is that a National Football League record for one quarterback in a season?
I thought it was up to like 80 or something. But it's a lot.
On the flip side, it would be more consistent if he didn't have as many pure misses on tape. His adjusted completion percentage has taken a step back even from his rookie season, and he's especially struggled finding his mark when on the move. The scary thing is the Bears' offense is already effective with so much more potential of Williams yet to be unlocked. Jackson Dart, Tenneby, gets a B.
He's looked good.
Dart is imperfect, and his play style has quite obviously not been sustainable. But the Giants' offense would not be as effective as it's been under his tenure. He's 12th among starters in EPA/play this season and is responsible for 17 scores in only 7 starts. Bo Nix, C-.
He's a bit of a roller coaster.
Nix is one of those hot-button quarterbacks where an honest review of his strengths and weaknesses is a rarity. To a certain segment of the Broncos fan base, his play is the reason Denver's 8-2. To another segment of national media who never saw him as a first-rounder to begin with, his play has been bench-worthy so far. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Nix has almost all of the traits you want from a franchise quarterback. He's been the best QB in the entire league at avoiding sacks when pressured, while also leading the league in game-winning drives. The one trait he obviously has not shown this season is a pretty darn big one, though: accuracy. We see a little of that here in Minnesota as well. What do you think of Bo Nix, Tenneby? I mean, like I say, it sounds like there's really different opinions about him.
Well, I just brought up right before you talked about it. He's just inconsistent.
Right.
There's a game where you'll be like, Bo Nix is awful. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in football. And then the next game, they're down 20 points, and he's leading to a comeback victory. Right? Like, I do think he benefits from a lot of good stuff around him. I think his offensive line is one of the best in football, and his defense is elite, specifically the pass defense. So some of his flaws, they can still win games, and it's not all on him, as opposed to some other teams in which the quarterbacks have to carry the load a little bit more.
Cam Ward's getting a C-. Says no quarterback in the NFL is fighting a tougher uphill battle each game than the Titans signal caller. His top 3 receivers of late have been 2 day 3 rookies and a journeyman who's been on 4 teams in 3 years. Oh, and he's already had his head coach fired. You can't evaluate him purely statistically because it's the worst situation in the entire NFL. That being said, there's one area he has to improve on and fast. Amazon Sam Schwartzstein actually calls it SCRAC. Sack EPA combined with scramble EPA. It's a stat where playmakers such as Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes routinely lead the league. In other words, able to get out of the pocket, make throws, which is big, Tenneby. There's nothing better because in this league, we talk about it all the time, Tenneby. This just in. The guys playing are the best football players in the world, and they can all get to the quarterback, and they can all beat good linemen. Now, the linemen are really good. That's why guys oftentimes get time to throw. But when you're flushed out of the pocket, can you make the throws? And some quarterbacks are awful at it. Mm-hmm. McCarthy struggled with that a little bit so far. But there are other guys that are really good. Mahomes and Allen would be 2 of those.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud gets a D+. You think that's fair? Here's what they say. There are valid excuses for Stroud's poor performance this season. His offensive line, the inexperienced receivers, the first-year offensive coordinator. It's not an easy situation to play elite football in. Stroud, though, isn't some rookie just finding his footing in the NFL. He's a third-year player who had one of the best statistical rookie seasons of all time. The bar for him is different than it is for other quarterbacks on this list.
I was just going to bring that up, that his rookie season was, other than Jaden Daniels, one of the best rookie seasons we've seen out of a quarterback in the last 5-6 years. And people thought this guy's going to be a top 5 quarterback in the league, and he has completely fallen off. And as they mentioned, I don't think it's all his fault. I don't think he's had a lot to work with, especially their offensive line's just been horrendous for a good chunk of his time there. But still, the expectations after year 1 were much higher for him, and he is disappointed.
Michael Penix Jr. gets a D. Says the exciting downfield passer we saw last season and at Washington has been nowhere to be found this fall. In fact, Penix has as many deep completions this entire season, 7, as he did in 3 starts as a rookie. That seems wholly incompatible with the player most expect Penix to be. He's only managed 83 passing yards and 68 rushing yards on the 43 times he's broken the pocket this season. For someone who has to win from the pocket, Penix needs to be more precise than he's been this season. And then that leads us to
J.J. Are the grades getting lower?
Well, they are, and J.J. McCarthy's next on that list, and he gets an F. No! And the listeners think you and I are tough on McCarthy. CBS Sports on List Radio is giving him an F. Here's what it says. McCarthy has more interceptions, 6, than tutty passes, 5. Has the lowest completion percentage in the entire NFL through 4 starts, 53.7%. And his sack pace extrapolated to 17 games would be the 6th most all time. It's important to reiterate, though, that it's only 4 starts and the first 4 of his career at that. If you're looking for encouraging signs, you'll find a couple of throws a game, but not any extended stretch of play to warrant a grade higher than this. And that's what we've kind of been saying about him all along. And we both agree, let's reiterate, neither of us say get rid of McCarthy, give up on him, and let's see if we can get Wentz ready to go in the next week or two. What we're saying is this is a longer learning curve than other quarterbacks. The injuries have been a problem. He was hurt his rookie year, and he had the high ankle sprain here, and then, quarterback whisperer was supposed to bring a lot out of this guy. We haven't seen a lot of it yet, but it is early. Bryce Young gets an F as well.
I do wonder, I know KOC is the quarterback whisperer. I do think some of J.J. McCarthy's bad stats can be attributed to KOC because McCarthy has been inaccurate, but he's also throwing the ball.
Oh, my gosh. Above average.
He's throwing the ball farther downfield than the vast majority of quarterbacks. Like, he's not doing a lot of the easy gimme dump-offs that you can just rack up completion percentage on. So he's also taking a lot of sacks because he's holding onto the ball longer than most. So I think a lot of that is KOC saying, this is my offense. I'm going to get you to the point where you can fit in my offense.
Yeah, I think you're right.
As opposed to, well, maybe he can't do that as of right now.
We'll see if it changes much on Sunday, a game we'll hear on this station. Coverage at 10. We're your audio by kickoff at noon. We're your audio home of the Minnesota Vikings. We'll pause and return. Rosen joins us in studio. Deuce on the Connecticut Water Systems hotline. Up next, it's Spread Swing right here on the Fan.
Man.
It's a divisional showdown this Sunday at noon as the Minnesota Vikings take on the Chicago Bears. Pregame starts at 10 a.m. Catch every tackle, every touchdown, every game-changing play right here on KFAN and on the go with the free iHeartRadio app.
Cab Calloway and his orchestra lead us into my favorite segment of the day. I'm the common man, Dan Cole. He's tend to be Mark Rosen here in studio. And, of course, courtesy of the Connecticut Water Systems hotline, it's Deuce from his Arden Hills office, and it's time now for Spread Swing.
Spread Swing.
Well, Mark Rosen, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you on this beautiful Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, beautiful Thursday afternoon. And, of course, as I mentioned on the Connecticut Water Systems hotline, it's my firstborn, Deuce. Deuce, how are you, me-boy?
I'm doing pretty well, just churning out the Excel spreadsheets over here in my lovely Arden Hills office. So it's a good day.
Let me ask you a question. You ran again this morning. You've changed your schedule. You were leaving work, coming home, getting into your running gear and going for a run. Now you're leaving early. You're up before I am. You head over to your office and you're running over in Arden Hills. Did you run again this morning then?
Yes, I did. I start out in Arden Hills, and the past couple of days I've just been going south on Lexington Avenue. And yesterday I made it all the way down to Como Lake before I turned around and came back because I'm planning on doing a marathon in February, hopefully. So I'm starting to really amp up the mileage. And
how many miles did you go? How many miles did you go today?
Today I did 9 miles.
Oh, 9 miles.
Did you run past that site that was going to be the site of the Viking Stadium in Arden Hills? That's what I want to know. I remember up there with Lester Bagley, and they were talking very positively about this is where they were going to build a new stadium. I wonder if anything went in there.
That is in the
Nothing's gone in there.
Nothing's gone in there.
Direction.
Oh, okay.
No,
it is.
That's the opposite direction.
I drive by it every day. Nothing
is still. So,
nope. It's great piece of land too. Obviously,
build a basketball, build Target Center.
You need
there.
to clean up the water and all that stuff
Yeah,
with
I
it. But
know.
I mean, I drive by it every day.
The last thing you would want to do is have to drive to Arden Hills to go to the Lexus Club. You don't want it to be built.
No, I don't want to go there.
I tell my kids every time we drive by it on the way to kids' school.
Yeah.
And every day we drive by it because I always tell them once I win the Powerball, I'm building a golf course there.
Yeah.
So it's just a great piece of property.
It is a
it
nice
is,
piece
just
of
sitting
property.
there.
There's no question about that.
Yeah, Deuce, since you're in the neighborhood, you can start raking. I got a house in Shoreby if you want to rake some leaves or mow some grass while you're up there.
He's
For
got
a price, maybe you could get the spread swing music working. If I could hear that during the little break between picks, that'd be well worth it for me.
you got a hockey game coming up, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow we got the girls hockey. It's Lakeville North taking on Marshall. And I don't even need to say it. You and all the listeners know it's two teams that don't like each other.
That's
it'll be
storied
the first
rivalry.
high school hockey game that I do for this season. I'm doing most of the Lakeville North boys and girls hockey. So
Nice.
it's going to be a good matchup.
Is it at
Marshall,
Lakeville
I don't
or in
think they've
Marshall?
given up it's in Lakeville.
Okay, I was gonna say, that'd
I
be
do
quite a
all the
drive.
home games. If I had to drive to Marshall, I would need a little gas money from the head honchos at game time.
Yeah, very good. All right, we ready to play?
Ready to play?
Let's
Go over. Let's go over the results from last week first. So going into last week, Common, you were in the lead with 44 points. I was in second place with 39 points. Deuce was in third with 15.5 points.
And
Rosen's in last place with minus 16.5.
Didn't get any better. Hey, mind your manners. It's my birthday today. Be nice to me.
Happy birthday to you.
And let's just say,
70.
I feel better at 74 than I did at 44.
You look stronger. You do. Happy birthday to you.
well, your spread swing picks aren't any better at 74 than they were at 44. I can tell you that.
Man,
because you are still in last place after last week, Rosie. You had Philadelphia plus 1.5 against the Packers at Lambeau, and they did win by 3, so you did gain 4.5 points there.
Should have won by more than that.
But you had the Vikings plus 4 against
Looked good when they scored the first touchdown of the game.
Against the Baltimore Ravens. They lost by 8, so you lost 4 points there. I just realized I wrote down your wrong score. So
of course you did.
At least I corrected. So you're going to be at minus 17 points.
Really
you only dropped a point on the week.
Oh, well.
Deuce, you're still in third place. You had the Chargers minus 3 against Pittsburgh, and they won by 15, so you gained 12 points there.
Whoa.
But you had Carolina minus 5.5 against New Orleans, and they lost by 10. So you lost 15.5. So for the week, you lost 3.5. You dropped down to 12. I'm still in third place, though I did have a slight victory this week. Mm-hmm. First one did not go well for me. I had Tampa Bay minus 2.5 against the Patriots, and they actually lost to New England by 5. So I lost 7.5 points there, but I had Seattle minus 6.5 against Zona, and they won by 22. Gained 15.5 there. So I go from 39 to 47 points, which means, Common,
objects in your mirror may be closer than they appear.
But luckily for you, Common, your Kitties came through with a similar score. You had Detroit minus 8 against Washington. They won by 22 points. Mm-hmm. You gained 14. You had a small loss in your other game. You had Chicago minus 5. They won by 4 over the Giants. You lost a point there. So, Common, you're in first place with 57. I'm 10 back with 47. Deuce is in third with 12. And Rosen's in last with minus 17.
Hey, well, he was minus 17.
If you know what I mean.
Okay.
So
let's get to go first. That's
the
great.
order today is Rosen, Deuce, me, Common.
Spread swing.
Well, it's time to put the pedal down. I'm not putting up with this nonsense anymore.
You're taking that Vikings club.
No, I am not. That's probably going to be a 3-point game. Either way, I'm not quite sure about that one. But I'm going to go with the 49ers on the road, minus 3 at Arizona, a banged-up Arizona team. Now, Jacoby Brissett continues to play at quarterback. That's not the problem. But now they're missing Marvin Harrison Jr. He's out with appendicitis. Zay Jones, Achilles tendon. And for the 49ers, Brock Purdy is scheduled to come back at quarterback. They're 6-4. That's a team you just can never ignore. I don't care if they're on the road. I'm going to double down on this one.
Oh, wow.
-3. I think they're going to. Arizona's just, they've lost 6 of their last 7 games. They're a mess. They don't really have much going on, and I think San Francisco's still the 49ers. So I will take the 49ers -3 and double that.
We got a double down.
Yep. First one of the year.
Wow.
All right, here comes the music, Deuce.
Spread swing.
There may not be any points in this game, or I'll probably only get a handful, but I really like the way the Rams have been playing lately. I think Matthew Stafford is sneakily playing some of the best football of his career. I don't think he's thrown an interception in the past 6-7 weeks or so. I think he's been playing beautifully, and in the last 3 games, they've scored 35, 34, and 42 points. Now, they have to play a team that's a lot better than what they've seen in the past few matches. The Seahawks are arguably the best team in football right now, but I think the Rams are going to pick up a nice victory. They're at home, and I just like them over Seattle. I think a grizzled veteran like Matthew Stafford knows how to win tough football games like this at home. So I'll take the Rams. I have to give up a few points for it. It could be a close game, but I got a good feeling about this one. I'm taking the Rams -3.5.
All right.
Last time Darnold played there, did not go too well for him.
Oh, it did not.
Against the LA Rams. He might still be seeing some ghosts from that one.
Good point. Yeah.
Oh, I meant to do this first. Hold on.
Ooh,
It's
Spread swing.
Tennessee tips
a little
his
sneak.
hand.
It's been a roller coaster season for your Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, boy.
They went on the down part of the roller coaster last week. Now they start to ascend up once again because they are playing one of the most overrated teams in the National Football League. That would be your Chicago Bears. And even last week, right? You look at the Vikings game against Baltimore. They ended up losing by 8 to, I think, a team that's going to win the AFC North. And they did it with 3 turnovers and 100 yards of penalties. I'd like to think they're going to clean some of that stuff
And a
up
kid
on their
that's
end.
still quarterbacking with training wheels on. Well, think about it.
On the other hand, Caleb Williams struggles against the blitz. Who blitzes more than any team in the National Football League? That would be B-Flow's defense. They also play a little bit of zone, which Caleb Williams struggles against. Chicago has just been beaten up on really, really bad teams. Vikings have already beaten them once. Now they're going to do it at home. I'm going to take the Vikings -3 against the Chicago Bears.
Vikings.
Spread swing.
Being the leader, my guess is you guys love this because you're thinking, I've got to pick the Kitties. That's what I do. And they're playing at Philadelphia, and Philadelphia they're the defending world champions. They're a talented squad. The Lions have lost a couple of games to some teams. I guess what I'm saying is they've beaten teams they're supposed to beat, and they've lost to some of the. They lost to Green Bay. They lost to the Vikings, and their other loss was to Kansas City. So they haven't really beaten anybody, and you would think they're going to have their hands full with Philadelphia. But I would take this game, even if it wasn't spread swing. It doesn't matter to me. I like the way Detroit's playing football right now. What I really like was I watched and I know this doesn't guarantee anything, but I like the way Campbell, during his news conference at the very end, he said, when I played, I loved playing on the road. He goes, and my team is going to eat this up. We can't wait to play at Philadelphia. Here's what else he said about Philadelphia. He goes, some places you go to, they'll wave at you and say, hey, we're glad you're here playing us. He says, it's just the opposite in Philadelphia. In other words, the toughest place to play. Yeah. They're embracing it. Other teams have said it and failed. I like the Lions. I'm getting 2.5 points, and I think the Roar has been restored.
Well, good pick. It could be an NFC Championship preview. I mean, it very well could be.
Spread swing.
Oof. I like it's a couple games here, and I'll probably say I sniped them. I like Buffalo to bounce back against Tampa, but that's not the team. I'm not taking them. I think that
you almost sniped me.
Go ahead. The team that's just abysmal. I'm going with more of the fact that they're so awful as opposed to a Texans team that's very good defensively. They have to give, what are they, 6.5 point favorites at Tennessee. Tennessee's 1-8, and they're going nowhere. They're looking at the number 1 pick next year. Texans defensively, I don't know if Titans will cross midfield.
Really?
It's just, 6.5 seems like a lot of points. The road part of it doesn't matter.
Do a double down.
But they're 4-5. They're kind of fighting for a possibility to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. So I will take the Texans -6.5 at the Wobegon Tennessee Titans.
Problem is they might not have their starting quarterback still, though.
Doesn't matter.
C.J. Stroud.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it matters a little bit.
Well, it does matter. He's good.
I'd give him
Spread swing.
Quarterback on his rookie deal. Yeah, great rookie season. He hasn't been better since.
Yeah, he hasn't. You're right.
That's your Deuce.
Deuce,
you're up.
Yeah. My bad, folks. I think for my second selection, they played one of their worst games of the 2025 campaign last week, and I think they're due for a bounce back against one of the worst defenses that I've ever seen in my time watching football. Now, it hasn't been that long. I know Dad's been watching since the leather helmet era practically, so I haven't seen a ton of football. But I don't think you can get much worse than the Cincinnati Bengals defense. And I think Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to walk into Heinz Field a little bit ticked off. They're returning home after a brutal beatdown against the Chargers where they just looked really bad. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to pick apart the Bengal defense. It's an AFC North collision, and I think the Steelers are going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I'll take the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'll give up 5.5.
Man, I like the other one on that one. Okay.
You like Joe Flacco, don't you?
I do. I love Joe Flacco.
Spread swing.
No snipage today. I have 2 games that I like. I like Atlanta -3.5 against Carolina, but
Really?
we're gonna go a different route.
What route you going?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've had one team that has gotten me some wins in the last couple of weeks, and I'm just going to keep riding them. I didn't pick them last week, but I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens -7.5.
Ooh, a lot of points.
At Cleveland. They've been a different team since Lamar Jackson comes along. They've won 3 straight games, and during that stretch, they basically outscored their opponents on average 28-13. Cleveland's 2-7, and they know at this stage, like, Dylan Gabriel is not the guy.
Yep.
And they could fall apart pretty easily. Middle of second quarter, know this game's over, and Baltimore can just absolutely rout them. 7.5 is a lot of points.
It's a lot of points. Why don't you double down on it?
But Baltimore is beating everybody by over 7.5 points at the stage. So I'm going to go Baltimore -7.5 on the road at Cleveland.
Spread swing.
KC.
Oh, boy.
I know it's at Denver. I know Denver is... Denver, they 8-2?
Yeah. That's a big one for the Chiefs.
Chiefs got their back against the wall. Gut check time. And I think the Chiefs have that quiet confidence about them. They're that team that they don't really, it's the old, we don't care what happens. I mean, you got to play well in the regular season to qualify for postseason places. We just need to get into the tournament. And I think they're going to show this Denver club, because Denver's probably feeling good about themselves. And then they go, we're going to show Denver what championship football is like. I think Kansas City goes in and dominates the Broncos.
That's good.
I think not just I know I'm giving up 3.5 points, but I like
3.5 at Denver against one of the best defenses in the league is a little worrisome for me.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm taking.
I think it's gonna be a low-scoring affair.
I'm taking
elevation.
I think it's gonna be like a 20-17 type game.
I think it's gonna be. I think Kansas City might score 20 points in the first quarter. I think they're gonna have a big game against the Denver Broncos. I'll take Kansas City and give the 3.5 points.
Well, let's see if Pacheco plays. He's been questionable all week with a knee.
Oh, he's been out for a while.
Doesn't matter.
They've been going to Kareem Hunt the last couple of weeks.
Doesn't matter. We like Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, you do.
Even if Pacheco's healthy, I don't even know if he's their guy anymore.
Here's what I'll tell you. The key is if you give the ball to Hunt, you'll never have to punt.
That's it for.
All right.
Spread swing.
Now, when are you flying to Atlanta? You're just this world traveler. Are you still going to Atlanta?
No, that trip kind of fell through. It was under consideration like last week, and then some work stuff came up, and the plane tickets are just getting outrageous. And with what we've been seeing lately, the flight could have got canceled altogether.
Right.
So I bailed on that. So our next trip will be our little excursion to Palm Springs.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Oh,
yeah, we're going to do a little trip
spot.
down there. The family, we're going to have some fun down there. All right, me boy, we'll see you tonight. Big one tonight. It's New England and the Jets. That should be a good game.
Wow, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
What's your choice? Jets, Patriots, or Gilligan's Island?
I'd start my hair on fire before I'd watch Pats Jets, so I'll take an episode of Jeegan. Maybe the pilot.
Let's watch the pilot again.
Where Skipper and Jeegan sail away from the island in search of rescue.
Yeah, it's
They didn't get very far, did they? Yeah.
No, not very.
He is your mini-me.
They got to the other
He
side.
really
of the island.
is.
He's just a mini common.
He is. Where that's why he's Deuce. Cut from the
That's
same
right.
cloth. I'll see you. Have a
Deuce.
good day. Drive home careful. I'll see you tonight.
Take care, man.
Will do. Thanks for having me, guys.
You
Take
bet.
care.
You got
Okay,
it.
there you go. A little spread swing. We'll take a break, come back. Another hour with the legendary Mark Rosen coming up. All right, you're on the Fan.